So we have invited SEDA Malaysia, Sustainable Energy Development Authority Malaysia, and also GSPARX Sdn Bhd to share valuable information with us, because the BK8 aims to encourage the BK8 residents to promote green technology and also renewable energy sources in our neighborhood. So without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Muhammad Idham bin Mohammad, the Deputy Director of the Market Operations Divisions of SEDA Malaysia, to hold the floor.
Okay, thank you, Chair Amirul, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me share the slide.
All right.
Okay, can you see the slide? Chair Amirul, can you see the slide?
Yes, in Idham, we can see the slide.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum and good morning. Thank you for having me, and my name is Mohammad Idham. I am from SEDA Malaysia under the Market Operation Division. First, I would like to thank BK8 Residents Association for holding this online sharing session to introduce on solar PV system and to encourage the use of green technology and renewable energy. I hope with this sharing session, we'll give a better understanding on the benefits of using solar PV system as an alternative source of energy. So I'm here today to share about the implementation of the Net Energy Monitoring or NEM program in Malaysia. Okay, some background for SEDA Malaysia. The Sustainable Energy Development Authority Malaysia, or SEDA Malaysia, is a state body formed under the Sustainable Energy Development Authority Act 2011. SEDA Malaysia was established on the 1st September 2011 with the main role of administer and managing the implementation of the feed-in tariff mechanism mandated under the Renewable Energy Act 2011. Okay, SEDA Malaysia core responsibilities are not limited to renewable energy, but also include promoting the use of energy efficient technologies and approaches to reduce energy consumption. Okay, under the Renewable Energy Act 2011, the quota under the feed-in tariff mechanism were offered to 4 renewable energy resources, including solar PV, biogas, biomass, and small hydro. Solar PV was the key driver in the feed-in tariff mechanism. However, starting 2018, due to its huge demand and limitation of the renewable energy fund, no more quota were under the feed-in tariff mechanism for solar PV, but only available to biogas, biomass, and small hydro. Okay, forward. New mechanism was introduced. Today, there are 3 major programs that are currently available, and they are the SELCO, NEM, and LSS. The mechanism for SELCO or self-consumption is energy generated from their own PV system and must be consumed 100%, and any export to the grid is not allowed. For NEM, I will explain later in my next slide. Next is large-scale solar, or LSS, is designed to supply a large scale of solar power to utility grid, and 100% of the energy generated will be exported to grid. Okay, how solar PV system works. The light from the sun electric current through a process called the photovoltaic effect. Each PV panel will be linked together to produce energy as solar PV array. The electricity produced from the solar PV panel is in the form of direct current, or DC, and in order for the solar electricity to be useful, it must be first converted from DC to alternate current, or AC, using PV inverter. This AC electricity from the inverter can then be used to power electrical appliances in the house, or can be exported to the grid. Okay, before we go to the presentation, to the NEM program, let's take a look at a short video on how solar PV system works. All right. Okay, we go to the detail on the net energy program. Okay, the NEM program was first introduced on the 1st November 2016 with SEDA Malaysia as the implementing agency. NEM is designed to complement the feed-in tariff mechanism to encourage the deployment of renewable energy in Malaysia. The concept of NEM 1.0 is that energy produced from the solar PV installation will be consumed first by the building owners, and any excess will be exported to the distribution at the cost rate, which is of NEM was launched on the 0.0, so a change in program mechanism whereby the surplus solar energy can now be exported. The response for next 8 times the total capacity approved from 2016 to 2018. This has led to a sharp increase in the installed capacity from 103 megawatt in 2019. The 500 megawatt quota indicated for NEM 2.0 was fully subscribed ahead of its closing date, which was end of 2020. The NEM 3.0 program offers fresh 500 megawatt quota, and it will carry out in phases starting from 1st February 2021 until 31st December 2023. The NEM 3.0 is categorized into 3 programs, which is NEM Rakyat 100 megawatt, NEM Government 100 megawatt, and Net Offset Virtual 300 megawatt. On 17 November 2021, the Ministry of Energy and Natural Resources, or KESA, announced that the government has allocated an additional 300 megawatt quota under the NOVA program due to overwhelming response from the industry. The regulator of NEM program is actually Energy Commission or Suruhanjaya Tenaga, and all the guidelines and policy will come from Suruhanjaya Tenaga, and SEDA Malaysia is the implementing agency. And in terms of the distribution licensee, it's only. Okay, the concept of NEM from the installed solar PV system will be consumed first, and any excess will be exported to TMB on a one-on-one offset basis. For business users registered under the NOVA program, the excess energy exported will be used to offset electricity bill based on the average system marginal price, or SMP, and can distribute to the fully owned subsidiary company, maximum up to 3 companies. and this will give opportunity to save the company electricity bill. Okay, this is a snapshot of criteria and main for NEM 3.0. The first criteria only. NEM Rakyat is open to domestic tariff, while for NEM Government open to government-owned building and the tariff. For NOVA category, TMB consumer under the commercial packages program, the benefit of NEM Rakyat in the government is any excess of energy generated will be exported to the grid offset basis, and the credit will be allowed. While for NOVA, the offset rate will based on average system marginal price or SMP. And after 10 years of contract, NEM 3.0 will be converted to Selco. In terms of capacity limit, for domestic or residential customers, the houses with three-phase system is limit up to 10 kilowatt AC, while for single-phase system is 4 kilowatt. For government building under the commercial tariff, the solar capacity limit is 1 megawatt, but subject to 75% of the maximum demand. Or for low voltage consumer, the limit is up to 60% of the fuse rating or city rating. For NOVA category, the capacity limit for category A is 1 megawatt and subject to 75% of the maximum demand, or 60% of the fuse rating or city rating. While for the category B, the capacity limit is 5 megawatt and subject to 100% of the maximum demand or 60% of the city or fuse rating, whichever is lower. The type of installation allowed under this program is should be the panel mounted on the rooftop of the building only. Okay. Okay, this is the print screen of the NEM 3.0 webpage in the SEDA portal. For more information on NEM 3.0, you can visit the SEDA portal, or the guidelines, the related document can also be downloaded from the SEDA portal. The NEM application is 100% through online, which we call it in-NEM system. Okay, due to pandemic COVID-19, we are going paperless. For NEM 3.0 approval, the hard copy certificate is no longer issued by SEDA, and we replace it with a digital certificate. And you also can use the provided QR code to check the validity of the NEM approval. Okay, I have prepared a sample of electricity saving for NEM Rakyat. Let's say you are the domestic consumer or tariff kediaman that utilize electricity bill about 1,958 kilowatt hour or near to 1,000 ringgit per month. In this tariff, the first 200 units are charged at 20.8 cents per kilowatt hour, and the next 100 unit is 33.4 cents per kilowatt hour. And the higher block is 57.1 cents per kilowatt hour if usage more than 900 kilowatt a month. And for example, if you decided to install 4 kilowatt of solar PV that can be generated electricity about 400 kilowatt hour per month, while for 10 kilowatt, it can generate about 1,000 kilowatt hour per month. Assuming 60% of the electricity generated from the installed solar PV system will consume first, and 40% excess will be exported to TMB on a one-on-one offset basis, your monthly bill is turning to RM 771 ringgit for 4 kilowatt, or 400 ringgit 28 for 10 kilowatt system. And the total saving is about 2,700 ringgit per year for 4 kilowatt and 6,800 ringgit per year for 10 kilowatt system. And the simple payback is within 8.8 years for 4 kilowatt system and 6.3 years for 10 kilowatt system. Okay, in 2019, SEDA has launched a NAM calculator, which provided the public a means to estimate their capital investment and the return for their rooftop PV system investment. This NAM calculator provides an estimated solar PV capacity, minimum upfront cost of investment, monthly electricity bill, simple payback, and impact on environmental indicators such as CO2 emission avoidance. For now, the NAM calculator only applicable for NAM Rakyat and NAM Government. If viewers are keen to go for outright purchase, they can click on the outright purchase button, and the website will direct to a directory or registered PV service provider who can do the PV installation for the viewers. Alternatively, if the viewers are keen to go for leasing or power purchase agreement or PPA, the viewers can click on the leasing button on the website and will bring to a separate directory of PV investor who can provide such services. This NAM calculator is accessible at SEDA portal. This is the print screen of e-NAM system dashboard. As of today, the available quota for NAM Rakyat is 60 megawatt, while for NAM Government 71 megawatt, and for Nova is 218 megawatt. Okay, this is the directory for RPVSP and RPBI. Once a company registered as a service provider or investor with SEDA, we will publish their name in our website. The registered PV service provider or RPVSP will apply for NAM quota on behalf of customer, while for registered solar PV investor or RPVI can provide solar leasing or PPA to customer. Currently, we have about 199 RPVSP and 217 company registered as RPVI. So basically, under this NAM program, it has actually created new businesses. If previously a customer only can choose out of purchase or pick up a bank loan to finance the PV system, now PV investor can provide solar leasing or PPA. The solar leasing or PPA offer a zero capital cost requirement that make it more attractive for customer to install solar at their rooftop. Besides that, the package offered include end-to-end hassle-free services during the design, commissioning, and operation period. The installation of solar rooftop can potentially reduce the monthly bill by committing to one fixed tariff offered by RPBI. For PPA, the customer only pay based on the energy generated from solar system. Okay, while for solar leasing, the customer pay a fixed amount monthly, and the system will be owned by the customer after the leasing period ends. Okay, there are two methods of payment for PPA or solar leasing. The first one is direct contract, which is very straightforward, an agreement between two parties, between a consumer and investor. The other one is supply agreement with renewable energy or SARI. SARI is a three-party agreement between consumer, solar investor, and TMB. And TMB will provide the service of billing and collection of the payment by customer to investor. In return, TMB will impose a small service charge. One of the benefit of SARI is to help reduce the counterpart risk in the event of if the customer does not pay. Okay, I will end my presentation with some photos from the installation of solar PV system. This one for the residential house with 3.5 kilowatt peak at Kota Damansara, Selangor. The next one is the largest solar PV installation under NAM 2.0 with installed capacity 30 megawatt peak for Zingi Energy Smart at Jasim, Melaka. And this one for Goodyear with installed capacity 2.5 megawatt at Shah Alam, Selangor. And this one for the government building for Pustakaan Raja Tun Uda, Shah Alam with installed capacity 500 kilowatt. Okay, as a conclusion, NEM is one of the options for you to generate electricity for your own solar PV system, and it's offer and to offset or reduce your electricity bill. The NEM program is designed to provide you credit for any excess of solar energy you generated, and can be used to offset your electricity bill. And this way you can save your electricity bill and also protect yourself from rising cost of electricity in the future. Even better, you will become part of the clean energy movement to reduce the effect of the climate change. Okay, with that, that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammad Idham, for your valuable knowledge that you have just shared with us. Can you hear me? Sorry. Thank you so much, Mr. Mohammad Idham, for sharing very valuable information with us. And we have gained so much just from that session alone. So let me stop the screen. Okay, without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Yi Zan Yi, the Manager of Technical Sales and Marketing from GSPARX Sdn Bhd, to share the service provider aspect, the sales side of solar panel installation and also services.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. So I'll just share my presentation slide. All right, so everyone can see, right? So just let me start. So first of all, thanks for calling us and inviting us from GSPARX Sdn Bhd. Before we talk about this solar PV system, let me just start with some protocol. My boss will definitely kill me if I don't introduce what is GSPARX. All right. So TMB, I believe that everyone knows what is TMB. And in TMB, we have three core business. One would be generation, and then grid and retail. So previously, we divided the division based on generation, transmission, and distribution. But after the reimagining TMB, so the distribution side and the transmission side, we combine as a whole and become a grid. So, and I would say that TMB groups, we have a lot of subsidiaries, and GSPARX, we are just one of it. So GSPARX is a wholly owned subsidiary by TMB. We established in January 2018, just focusing on the rooftop solar solution. So our services, including consultation, which is design and installations, procurement, and maintenance, monitoring, and repair for the rooftop solar solution only. And we don't have any business to do with the LSS, like the big scale solar farm. That one would be under our sister company, TMB Renewables. Although that we are quite new in this field, but after we established in January 2018, we have quickly occupied the market share. And till date, we have already secured more than 1,000 projects. This is a combination of the factories, commercials, education hubs, government, and of course the residents. And in terms of the capacity, the megawatt peak, we have already secured 124 megawatts, which is almost equivalent to 2 to 3 large-scale solar farm. So I just want to highlight one thing. GSPARX, we are a registered solar PV investor, but we are not registered as a service provider, which means that all this work, the installation work, the NEM application, it will be done by our contractors. And currently, we have 50 contractors working under us, and all of them are registered with SEDA to apply the NEM application. So in case in the future you approach us for the NEM right yard package, you will see that suddenly a company that is not GSPARX helping you to register. Yes, that is our contractor. So let me just talk about the solar panels that in our package. In our package, we have for the solar panel, we have Trina Solar, QCell, Jinko, and JA Solar. Trina, Jinko, and JA, they are from China. But China, the technology is growing fast. I would say that their product is quite reliable. And QCell, Hanwha QCell is from Korea. And all of these solar panels, we directly imported from overseas. So which means that we don't buy from the local market. Of course, they do have the local sales reps to entertain us to resolve on the technical issue, but all the products are imported from China or Korea. And for the inverters itself, we are supplying Sungrow, Huawei. These are the tier 1 inverters. And if the customer, they want to go for a cheaper solution, we will propose another brand, which is Solis. That one would be a tier 2, but is still reliable and a cost-effective solution. I would say that. So why does solar matter? Everyone talking about solar. So first of all, this solar, they help you to reduce your electricity bill. And let's say we were to offer zero capex solution or just outright purchase, it can help you to future-proof against the tariff hike, because you will, with the solar PV system, you are less dependent on the TMB incoming supply. So, and then we are back in Australia. We do realize that with the solar PV system installed at their house, it eventually increased the property values. But Malaysia, we are still investigating and studying on these property values. But right now, most of the developers, they when they have a new development of a new township, they have already fixed the solar panels on their rooftop. A very good example would be the Samdabi project, which we already got, and currently we are in the midst of installing the solar PV on 508 houses at the city of Amina. And the ROI, I would say that is pretty good. It's double digit and is better compared you to invest on the other things like the shares. That now the share market is not that good. And of course, the government is promoting on the ESG, the net zero framework, the zero carbon emission. So we are eventually installing the solar PV system to help to save the earth. And with rooftop solar, because it's installing on your rooftop, eventually you provide a double roof, so it reflects the sun energy as well. So your house will be cooler. We will say that. And okay, so just let me explain again on the net energy metering. How does it work? So basically, we will fix the solar panels on your rooftop. Whatever solar energy captured by the solar panels, it will convert by the inverters, and then to the AC power, and then it's ready to be used by your electrical load at the house, like your TV, like your charger, like your lightings, fans, aircon, etc. Which means that you are importing less energy from TMB side. But a lot of people, they do say, hey, the solar PV system only generate during the daytime. So what happened if I go to work? But no worries, with the net energy metering scheme, whatever excess energy that is not being utilized, it will be export to TMB grid, and all the export, it will be credited to your account. And at night, when you import the energy from TMB grid, it will become one-to-one offset, which provide a reduction on your bill. That is how it works. So the next one, I would like to talk about the solar panels in the market. It doesn't matter whether you go with GSPARX or not. Together, we want to, of course, we want the business, but another main target is we want to support the government for the ESG and the net zero carbon emission. So one things that when you want to procure these solar panels or you attach with any service provider, you must be realize that there are three types of solar panel in the market. One would be the monocrystalline, and then we have polycrystalline, and then we have thin film. In terms of the efficiency, is vary a lot. Like monocrystalline now is 20 and 21% around that range. With polycrystalline is around 15 to 17%. Thin film is 10 to 13%. Of course, the lifespan, it comes with the cost. And for monocrystalline is very, very expensive. And I would say that under net energy metering, most of the service provider, they are providing monocrystalline solar panels to the end consumer. And in large scale solar farm, most of the time, because we are talking about a few hectare areas, so most of the time they are using polycrystalline to have a more cost-effective method. Thin film, I rarely see in Malaysia. Normally, if you buy the Lazada, like the solar kit, like for to light up your bulb or light up a fan, yeah, that one day, most of the time they were using the thin film. So how do you differentiate like what type of solar panels that your service provider give? In terms of their appearance, you can really differentiate the solar panels. So polycrystalline is just line and the color is in blue. Monocrystalline is all black color, and thin film just one big piece. It can come either in blue or black color. So just to share a real case study that we installed for a NAM Rakyat, 9.45 kilowatt peak, and the inverter capacity is 8 kilowatt AC. This is located at Setia Alam, Shah Alam area, and the commercial operation date is last year, May. Let's see. This is the last bill before the net energy metering. So the charge master, you can see monthly, he needs to pay around 576 ringgit and 69 cents. Just right after the solar PV system is installed and commissioned, straight away the bill dropped to 147.16 cents. But and when we compare one whole year, you can see like the power yield and against the TMB monthly bill. So basically, you can see there's a drastic drop on their bill, and some months eventually drop to 0.8 cent, 80 cent, or 1 ringgit or 11 ringgit. So this is a real case study and proving that the solar PV system works. Often after we install or commission the solar PV system, customer complain, hey, how come I didn't get the expected saving in terms of ringgit after the solar PV system is installed? The main reason is probably the TMB meters. So your previous meter before the net energy metering, the bi-directional meters, probably is aged and is already slow. Most of the time, like mechanical meters, there's a chepe rotating. Most of the time, it will eventually moving slow and slow and slow. So that's why after installing, changing to the smart meter or bi-directional meters, so you can see they recorded the real kWh import and both export. That's why you can expect some kind of hike in the electricity bill. And I have seen a few customers, they eventually, after the solar PV system is being installed, they increase their electrical consumption. Like previously, they only on one aircon during at night, but after they install the solar PV system, they lodge the complaint again is for saying that the solar PV system is not working. But after we investigate, she said that she turned on the aircon like five aircons at night compared to previous the solar system. They just turn on the one aircon. So that's why it doesn't when it comes to the monthly bill, it's not the expected ringgit RM that she is expecting. And another thing would be the inverter trip. So most of the time, the solar PV, the solar panels, they are generating the power, but the inverter trip, the power cannot be exported to your distribution board. That's why you are not utilizing the solar PV system. Or there are the solar panel damage and it's not generating any electricity. And then the next factor would be the weather. Let's say the cuaca mendung, or rainy seasons. So we don't expect that too much of solar irradiance to generate the power, which is out of control of GSPARX, TMB, or SEDA, or any service provider, which we cannot control the weather. And then another would be the design issues. Probably the design is being wrongly designed, so which caused the solar PV underperform. The next would be the power quality, but this one is a rare case because the inverters, they need to set in a range to work within the range of the voltage level. So let's say the voltage is not fluctuating or there's an over voltage issue, it will cause the solar PV to underperform. Another would be the workmanship, like they install the things under the shaded roof, which means that you get the solar irradiance less because of the shading effects. So what GSPARX is offering for the residential package, our package included the tier 1 solar PV panels, which is from the Trina Solar, JE Solar, Jinko, or QCell. And then our inverters, we are proposing, most of the time we are proposing Huawei or Sungrow. Let's say the customer, they want a more cost-effective solution, we will provide them the Solis. And then there's an online monitoring apps installed at your phone. So you can have the access directly to see how much the power is being generated. This is real time. And you can eventually monitor, is there any fault happening, like your inverter trip, there's no power output, it will trigger in your online monitoring apps. Of course, we do provide the warranty back-to-back against the OEM, with the OEM. Like the solar PV, the product warranty is 12 years. The performance warranty is 25 years. And the inverter's product warranty is 10 years. And the workmanship is 1 year, and the mounting structure against the corrosion is 10 years. And we do offer 2 years free maintenance. After that, it will come based on per visit basis. And then, of course, all the application with TMB and SEDA, we will help you to apply. And our payment method, we offer for residential, we can only offer our purchase. So customer have 3 payment method, which is cash or Maybank card credit user, 36 months 0 interest installment, or you can learn from our partner Bank Islam, and eventually we are expanding our payment method to the other banks, and we are in the midst of discussion. So how does the solar PV performance apps look like? So it's like this, install in your phone. So you can see every day and your past record for a month, for a year, and there's a weather forecast, and everything is real time. And once you have the fault detection, like your inverter strip, it will trigger in the apps itself. So you can just give us a call to lodge your complaint. We will provide the technical support to your site or remotely as soon as. And of course, right now, we do offer the solar insurance, and it's provided by our sister company, TMBX. So under this solar insurance, it's covered whatever is not covered by the OEM, like the lightning, like the theft, like the accidental damage, like the flood, the riot, like the pest. Because most of the time, the solar PV system, they like in the large scale solar farm, like I worked with last time, we are having issues with rats. Most of the time, the rats, they will bite the cable and cause the things to trip, the system to trip, which currently we offer this kind of solar insurance to cover all these things. For commercial and industrial and government, we do offer the solar PPA, which is a zero capex solution. This package, there will be no upfront cost required. everything will be invested by GSPARX. So the contract period will be between 15 to 20 years. And the solar tariff, we will guarantee that the solar tariff will be definitely lower than the TMB tariff. So throughout this contract period, all the maintenance, the operation will be covered by GSPARX. And after the contract expired, we will transfer the ownership of the solar PV system to the owner. So after that, you can, if you want to dismantle the solar PV system and install at the new place, yes, it's doable. But of course, the licensee, you still have to deal with SEDA and the ST after that. But under the outright purchase, let's say the commercial and industrial, they are interested in the outright purchase method. So MIDA, they offer a tax incentive for the commercial industrial consumer. We in GSPARX, we can assist you to apply for the tax incentive, but of course the final decisions lies under the MIDA. We GSPARX, we don't have the influence for that. Hey, you 100% need to approve my tax incentive. Sorry, we don't have that authority because we are just a license holder, not a government agency. So under this SARING, this is how it works. There's additional meters installed between your MSP and the solar PV. So the tariff, the solar tariff, it will be lower compared to the TMB tariff, and it's fixed throughout the contract period. So it's like, because we know that the coal price, everything is hiking, and we are expecting that in future, the electricity tariff, it will increase instead of decrease lah. That's why this solar PV system under this SARI scheme, it provides you a future proof against the TMB electricity tariff hike. And for commercial, industrial, and government office, we have an performance monitoring back in our HQ. So there are big screens, and we have our team and our engineers to monitor the things. Let's say there is anything like fault detected, it will ring an alarm at our HQ, so our team can investigate directly. So these are some of the GSPARX portfolio, like residentials. We are very well versed in the residential. Of course, our price is not the lower, but people tends to go with us because of one thing, because our parents company is TMB. Let's say after 10 years, you have issues with your solar PV system and you need the assistance. So you still can refer to GSPARX and TMB. This is not what happened. Regret to say, this is not what happened under the FIT. And in fact, my uncle is a FIT. He got the FIT scheme, and after 5 years, when there is issues on the inverter and he wants to claim the warranty or do the maintenance, when he called back the sales agent just replied easily that, hey, my company is already closed now, so this thing I couldn't help you. This is what happened under the FIT scheme, which is why now most of the residential, commercial, and industrial, they tends to go with the big company. Because for solar PV system, we are talking about 20 years or 25 years investment or more than that. So you need to go with a big company. And I would say that besides that, other than GSPARX, there are a few quite big as well, and they are quite well versed as well, which we recommend. If you are not interested with GSPARX, you still can go with them. And my humble opinion is, don't choose a small company like just do what you go around, and then you go there after install, you want to find them, they don't even have the office. You see, this is what I'm trying to say. And for the government buildings, the largest that we have commissioned is the Tun Husinon University. Total, there are 16 buildings, and the total capacity installed is 6.9 megawatt. And of course, most of the government agency, they choose GSPARX because of we have the TMB background. And And of course, we do have a lot of private sectors, the commercial and industrial, that consumer that they choose us is because you need a big company. So to, let's say you have any things want to claim the liabilities, the company won't go bankruptcy. That's what I'm trying to say. And these are some of our consumer, their feedback. After like this is previously 1,000, their bill, monthly bill is 1,000 ringgit. After they install the solar PV system, their current bill is 10 ringgit. So this one is from Mr. Izzah Ismail, and he is a government officer. And like this, Mr. A, this is all real case study under by our customers. I think that's all pretty sum up my presentation today. So let's say you have any inquiries or you want to check how does it work or to understand further, you can drop an email to us, inquiry@gsparx.com, or you can go to tmb.com.my/solar. So today and tomorrow we are having some events at the PWTC together with the Barisan National to promote the job fair and of course introducing our solar package. So let's say you are interested, you can just drop by at PWTC. We will be there for these 2 days. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Yi, for your sharing on the application side and also installation side of the solar panel systems. So let's open the floor to all our participants here. Do we have any questions to either to, it's an open question to both parties, to SEDA and also GSPARX, if you have any questions to them.
Yeah, I have a question. So, I mean, it applies for SEDA and also for GSPARX. So, I mean, it's the same. Notice in the case study that you have provided earlier, I mean, both are quite equivalent. It seems that the installation for residential, residential for us is in residential. So, it seems though the savings are there, but it seems to be offset by the price or the installation of the solar panels. I don't see any savings thereafter because, I mean, say for example, there is a upfront or monthly payment of the solar panel, say about, I think the last one I saw was about 27,000, and we are saving about 2,300 per year. So that comes up to about 10 years, which we don't really save much, or we don't have savings, in fact. And then besides that, those who coming out with the upfront payment, the 20,000, if you were to, to put into FD, though FD is low now at 2%, I can still garner at least, a 2% interest rate, which can get up to 4,000. So if you were to add that up, basically, I don't see any savings at all for residential. But I do agree there is a significant savings for the commercial side. Reason being, because if you notice from what is been, there is this what you call tariff surcharge for the commercial side, which I think the government actually have been revising it, I think annually or even semi-annually currently because of the coal price increase. So it seems that, if you are actually doing this installation for your factory, or non-residential premises, I think that will be more applicable, and savings can be generated from there. Just want to understand from both of you if there is any, this truth to it, because from what I can see, there is actually almost zero savings if you were to offset the payment for the solar panels against the savings that I have, which are generated on monthly basis. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for the questions. It's a really good questions, in fact. So basically, when we talk about this solar PV system, for example, like you are required to, of course, you are required to fork out the initial cost, and after, but the offset is for up to 10 years. But the solar PV system, it can last for 25 years at least, because the OEM, they are providing the performance warranty up to 25 years. So which means that the solar PV system can last for 25 years. So let's say per month, let's say you only need to fork out like 20,000 or 30,000, and each week, each month you are having the saving like 200 ringgit, and per year you are having the saving like 2,400. So when we talk about 35 years is 60,000. Yes, of course, the value, the money, when you put in the FD, probably you will get the highest interest. But the main initiative for this solar PV system is not only on the electricity bill, but to support the government on the ESG and the net zero carbon emission framework. It's just like the EV car. EV car is quite expensive, but people are still buying it because they want to provide the something like green technologies to support the net zero carbon emissions. That's what I want to highlight. Probably Idham from SEDA, is there any things that you want to add on?
That's true what you have explained. But for the commercial or company, they can apply for the tax incentive provided by the MIDA. As a government agency, actually, we are trying to propose to the government to give maybe some incentive to support, but then that one is subject to the government decision how they can give incentive on the who have installed the solar PV system and then in terms of the saving, actually subject to the bill of the consumer. If you bill lower than 300, personally, I not advise you to install the solar PV because the target to install the solar PV system is to reduce the highest band, which is more than 50 cents per kilowatt hour. So if your bill more than 300, actually you can reduce the highest tariff. It seems like you pay the car loan when you pay higher for the month, so you can reduce your contract period of the higher purchase. So it depends on your bill and the price of the system. If you can get the cheaper price but in good quality of the system, then you can get the return much faster. Yeah, that's all for me.
Yeah, just one last question. Is there a possibility if the government wants to actually, encourage, towards ESG, so everyone will be using solar? Is it possible that the government actually push into the structure, something like what Astro is doing? They are actually providing free satellite and of course the decoder. Same likewise, probably in terms of solar panels, it provided for free. Then whatever electricity that's generated that is not used, then it will be offset from the the solar panel cost until they actually meet to actually reduce the entire cost of the solar panel. By the time 25 years, I think it should be covered. So then the property will still belongs to the government. And then if there is wear and tear, they will actually do the maintenance. And after the 25 years, probably they need to replace it. They can always replace it. For us, we are just consumers, so probably we will only be using whatever that is required. Do you think that the government will be moving into that kind of structure?
Okay, that's a good question. Actually, for now, government just develop the program itself but in terms of the incentive, because the main objective of this program is for saving, and not all the TMB consumer can apply. That's why this program only applicable to certain type of consumer. But I think government try to promote this program not only for the maybe for T20 or M40, but actually we also try how to have the B40 But in terms of mechanism, we still study on that.
All right, thanks.
Hi. Sorry, I have. Can I have a question? Okay. I just have 3 questions. One of it is I just want to understand, after 10 years, the self-consumption means whatever additional that is being exported, you cannot bring it forward to next month. Am I right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and then the second question is, if, for example, we go for a lower package, I mean like 4 or 7 kilowatt, and then after sometimes, is it upgradable to a higher wattage?
Meaning you want to upgrade the capacity?
Yes.
Okay, that one is and you can increase the capacity, but subject to the availability of the quota.
I mean that your instruments like your inverter all is compatible.
Yes.
Okay, then you have the real, and then okay, the other one is the inverter warranty is 7 years.
Yes, back against the warranty for the inverters is depends on which inverters, which OEM that we are referring. So right now, what GSPARX engage is the Sungrow, Solis, and Huawei. They are all offering 10 years warranty, product warranty.
Okay, and actually the last one is actually referring to the PPA package that you have mentioned just now. The
Yep.
PPA package, there were 2 packages. One is a fixed monthly payment until for 20 years or for 15 years. The first one just now you showed was PPA payment. The PPA payment is you paid on what you export, is it?
So just let me share back the slide.
Okay.
So in fact, GSPARX, we don't offer the leasing yet. So for the PPA and the outright purchase, we only offer outright purchase and the PPA for commercial, industrial, and the government sector. So under this PPA, so whatever generated by the system, we will come up with a tariff which is lower than the TMB tariff. So let's say the system is not operating, so it doesn't or they encounter some issues, it's not operating, it's not generating any electricity. So which means that for that month you are not paying us anything because it's not generating anything. That's why we say it's a hazard free. So the worst case is you go back to your original bill for that month until we resolve the issues.
Okay, all right, understand. So this is for commercial, it's not related to residential. Anyway, Mr. Yi, my last question, I believe, you are going to have a special promotion for us to a certain deadlines or what, maybe a 10% discounts or what?
We can work out with that with your Banda Kimera, the community. We can work out with that and offer the special package and discount for your Banda Kimera residents. That one can be done.
Okay, great. That's all I have. I don't have any other questions. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Hi, Amirun Prabha here. Apologies, I joined really late, but I hope I can still ask some questions towards SEDA. Boleh?
Boleh.
Yeah. Hi. Hey, just trying to understand. So you guys do sustainable energy and stuff like that, right? So that's really good. When or do you have a plan of microgrids, VPPs, as in, let's say Banda Kinrara, there's a nice piece of land, and then let's say the community here decide to build a small solar farm, right? That can then be used for the community or sold back again to the DSO. Is that something that you guys are thinking of? I know, and it's doable in say the next 2 or 3 years.
Okay, that's a good idea. Actually, I think government studies some proposal for new policy. For now, we have a 3 main program under solar, which is large-scale solar, mainly for the large-scale installation at the ground mounted, and the energy will export to grid. And the second one is Selco, still rooftop installation, but the generation only for the own consumption. And the third one is net energy metering. where you can install the solar PV system at your rooftop and export if the access lah. But for this proposal, I think is related to virtual energy distribution, and I think the government still study on it. Maybe they call about a virtual power purchase agreement. I think that where you can install the solar PV system somewhere else and transmit the energy to the consumer, which is you no need to install the solar PV system. But then this idea still this idea is still the government study on it and subject to the policy decision.
Okay, all right, completely understand that. Now, just a follow-up question. So you talked about NEM, right? Net energy metering. This perhaps is a question to both SEDA and GSPARX. Today, do we have battery as part of that whole solution? So I'm just trying to understand, right? You generate, then how do you determine if it's excess? And if the excess is available at night, then without a battery, how do you sell it back again to the grid, right?
So the battery solutions, because you have the net energy metering scheme, so which means that you don't need the TNB meters, and the TNB accounts is doing the battery, something like the functioning as a battery to store whatever excess. Let me show you this. Okay. So whatever generated by the solar power by the solar panels is a DC power, so it will convert to the AC power and connect to your distribution board at house. So and then it will power up your house during the daytime, and whatever excess or not being utilized, it will export to the net energy metering meters. So based on whatever units that you export to TNB, it will be recorded by this net energy metering meter, and it's something like a collect your points, and it was credit to your accounts. So at night, when you import back the energy from the TNB grid, it will be recorded by the same meter. So there are two. Let me show you the bill. One of the bill that we have.
So I understand this, but is this accounting? That means you're just doing on paper, all right, excess, then it just measures how much excess and then contra. So is that what is happening, or are you actually doing two-way energy direction, right, bidirectional, from TNB and to TNB?
This one yes, we are just doing the contract, just like accounting, because it depends on the block tariff that you are using. So let's say you're using under let's say your bill is high, right? So you are eventually goes to the 50 cent per kilowatt hours. So it will compensate starting from the 50 cent per kilowatt hours first. It's just like accounting.
Yeah. Okay. So we are not fully supporting two-way bidirectional energy yet, right?
It's a bidirectional energy, but most of the time when you have access, it's a single power flow, right? And at night, when you import, you don't have enough the power. It will be import from the TNB grid. So it's still the meter is bidirectional meters. So, but in terms of the power flow, it's not bidirectional.
Yeah. So it's just a bidirectional meter. But okay, cool. As part of SEDA's plan, I also understand you were doing blockchain ledgers, right, and contracting. How advanced is that, and how mature is that?
Energy metering. Yeah.
Peer-to-peer? P2P? Is it?
Yeah, P2P. Yes, P2P.
Okay, actually, the one we have conducted the pilot test, but still this one is subject to the government policy lah. But for Nova, actually we already implement the virtual aggregation, which about the energy, any excess with time with the system marginal price in ringgit, then you can transfer the credit to the other designated premise, which is the subsidiary company under the applicant.
Okay, so you can, still not to residential lagi lah.
Not yet.
Okay, all right.
Because kalau you nak implement, that means you kena enhance our
your AMI. Yeah, you banyak kena tukar lagi. Okay, cool. I just had those basic questions itu je. All right, thanks guys.
Sorry, I have a question here, Arthur here. I just would like to know, is this more towards the practical side lah? let's say if you were to install the solar panels and everything, but how do you actually repair a roof, like in case a roof got problem leaking lah, tile breaking? Do you actually have to dismantle the solar panels? Or worst case scenario, somebody come up there and then make a nest, macam burung lah, make a nest between your solar panel and roof tiles. How do you solve those?
So normally, before we install the solar PV system on the roof, right, we will have a pre-assessment first. During the pre-assessment, we will identify on the roof leaking, and we will ask the owner of the house to resolve on the roof issues before we install the solar PV. And let's say after the installation they are leaking due to our workmanship, we will fix the roof for you. But for the nesting itself, and to be honest with you, not in our currently, we have never encountered like bird nesting on the solar PV system. But this is a good questions. Yeah, let's say notice that within the 2 years free maintenance, probably you can call us. We will resolve for you. We remove the nesting for you during the 2 years free maintenance. Yeah.
Okay, just want to check with you another one thing. What's the costing for the maintenance after the free maintenance period? Because we need to calculate also, because I know you save money from the electricity tariff, but you have to factor in the costing for all the maintenance, the repairs and everything. So yeah.
So let's say normally the solar PV system is to design as a low maintenance system. So in fact, hardly we need to do any maintenance on it. But let's say you really procure the solar insurance with our sister company TMBX, you have any issues with the solar PV system, it will be covered by the solar insurance. But let's say you didn't procure the solar PV insurance, it depends on what kind of maintenance that you need to do. Like you want us to clean the solar PV, the solar panels, it requires the sky lift. That's why depends on the capacity and of course what kind of maintenance that we are doing. Let's say we need the sky lift. The sky lift itself, like per day, is like 300 to 600 the rental, and including the workman, the manpower, everything, I think would be per visit, I would say like 1,000, around that figure.
My goodness.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. But no worry. The thing is designed to be low maintenance issue. It hardly have any issues on the solar PV system. In fact, like out of the thousands projects that we have already installed, and the customer that have issues with the solar PV system and calls us back is less than 5%, I would say.
Okay, I see. Then I just want to know, the insurance is how much roughly?
The insurance, just let me show you this. Surya Shield. Okay, that's a website, and so this is our TMBX website. In fact, this is joint collaboration with the Alliance Malaysia. So the solar insurance, the per annum is around 222 up to 550 ringgit Malaysia. So their coverage is here: fire, lightning, explosion, storm, typhoon, flood, earthquake, theft, loss of income savings, power surge, red spikes, accident, and misfortunes. And it depends on your solar system. They will eventually, there's a calculator here. Don't know which plan to choose. You just click here, your solar PV system, like in under name, like 10 kilowatt, and they will calculate the right plan for you, which plan to procure.
Okay. So basically, if I were to get insurance, I'd add extra 200, 300 ringgit lah. So in over 10 years, it's about an extra 3K lah on top of the installation fees and everything.
Yep.
So yeah lah, understand. Okay.
Hello. Hi. Sorry, I have one last question for Mr. Yi. It's to us regarding the insurance and also maintenance, because just now the question was once I think you answered that once you have the insurance, you don't have to worry about the maintenance. But inside the insurance package, I don't see anything that's written there covering for maintenance. So I believe maintenance is still required in case if, for example, you have some problem with your performance, maybe because of dust or anything that you have to do cleaning. So will that be covered if you bring the a cleaner to come and clean? Is it be covered by the insurance, or we still have to pay for the maintenance?
Okay, just let me answer on that. So let's say from what the solar insurance is covering is on the corrective maintenance. Let's say you have any like breakdown, like tripping on your solar PV system, the repair and restoration is being covered by the solar insurance itself. So let's say you want to do like the maintenance, like just like the cleaning. So as you know that Malaysia, we are having like rain like every day. So the solar PV, probably the rainwater, it can eventually wash off your solar PV. It won't affect much on the performance itself of the solar panels. Unlike the large scale solar farm, yes, that one, because it's open area and it's all sand and quite dusty, which is why we need to clean the solar panels at the large scale solar farm. So for residential, I have never seen that the performance drop and requires the people to clean the solar panels. I have never encountered that. Yeah, but for your questions, the solar insurance is not covering the people to clean your PV modules. It will be a separate charges for the cleaning work.
Okay. And how much will it be? 500 again?
I would say that just like we are doing the simple calculations. I don't know the exact fees because none of the people has engaged me to clean the PV modules. But I would say that like for the rental of the Skylift, and then we hire two fitters, it will be like 1,000 per day. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, just one more quick question for myself. It is regarding the roof. Let's say when we install already, but because of wear and tear, the roof tiles spoiled. So how do we actually dismantle the roof? Because I know this will not be fall under insurance coverage, right? Because since it's wear and tear for our own roof. So
yeah, the insurance is not covering on the roof itself. It's covering on the solar PV system itself.
Exactly. So how does my roofer, the tiler, climb up and then can they dismantle by themselves, or we need to engage you to dismantle the solar panel to fix the roof?
There are a few ways you can engage us to dismantle the solar PV system, or you can engage any registered with SEDA service provider to do the dismantling. So it's not necessarily you need to engage back GSPARX. It can be done by any contractors as long as they register with SEDA.
I see. But definitely there's no other way to fix the roof unless they dismantle the solar panel in a way.
Yes, because the bracket, everything is fixing on the roof tiles or the matter deck itself. So you the roof is already, the tiles, everything is underneath the mounting structure. So you have to dismantle the solar PV system first. But let's say it's due to our workmanship, like I say just now, we have 1 year workmanship period. So under this 1 year, let's say your roof have any leaking due to us, the installation itself. So we will come to fix for you as free of charge because it's covered under our warranty.
I see. No, I'm asking this because just really because our house is already 10 years. I'm not sure
Yeah.
how long the roof can last after we install a solar panel another 5 years down the road. Then you see the roof start to crack one by one. Then to uninstall the solar panel is going to be a big mess. That's what I'm worried.
Yeah, understood. Totally understood. Yeah.
I have a question. So regarding the insurance, right? Does it only cover the solar panel aspect, solar panel side, or does it also cover the roof as well? Let's say there's a storm, because this is Malaysia, right? We have storms all around the year. Let's say the storm has damaged the solar panel and also our roof tile, our metal deck. Is the roof and metal deck or the structure as well is covered by the insurance?
No, the insurance is basically covering on the solar PV system only. I believe that for the roof tile and your metal decks, right, probably you have procured the house insurance and probably you need to check back on the policy, whether it is covered under the storm and under the house insurance.
Actually, that's a very good question regarding my house insurance. So basically, if I install the solar panel, it doesn't interfere with my house insurance, right? They won't void the house insurance, do they?
I believe that I believe that because this is offering by the Alliance, so I believe that it won't void your insurance. But again, we need to check back on the policy itself.
Because if you want to install solar panel, you gotta calculate the house value also, it will change, yeah.
Yeah, understood. So for that one, I think I need to check back with my sister company TMBX and of course Alliance, and then I'll need to come back to you.
Okay, sure, thanks. Yeah.
Thank you.
I have a question too. Okay, the question is regarding the initial cost. Okay, the initial cost is, as I say, is around 30K. So what are the types of interest the banks are offering? Also, the government is offering in terms of interest-free installment, or is there any banks are giving a very low interest for this initial cost? And the second question is also I have is regarding the maintenance. Okay, as I understand, for solar there is some maintenance need to be done in the long run. So if I'll be like calling for maintenance, so is there any standard charges, or is there like per day charges, or you go for one work? I mean, is a particular job you go is a one lump sum charges. So could you please explain on this?
So first of all, on the payment and the financial scheme, so we have already collaborated with the Maybank. Maybank, they are offering zero interest up to 36-month installment for the Maybank credit card user, but of course it's subject to your credit limit. And Maybank itself and Bank Islam itself, they are offering the loan which is at a lower interest for this to provide the financial support to procure all this solar PV system itself. And from what I know, UOB also they are having the U Solar program. Also, they are providing the lower interest loan for the consumer, the residents to procure the solar system. And currently, we are in the midst of discussing with the Bank Rakyat. So probably they can offer the loan scheme at the lower rate to the residential to provide for them to procure the solar system. But everything's against is up to the decision of the bank. So because they are the finance institutions. So for the maintenance itself, again, it depends on what kind of work that we are doing. So just like probably just like checking the inverters, it doesn't require the sky lift. It will be like of course every works will be the one-off basis. We will provide you the quotation. Let's say you satisfied with our price, you can go with this. Let's say you feel that our price is expensive, you can go with the other service provider. There's no issues. So and back to the maintenance work, it depends on what kind of work that we need to do. Like for example, like relocating the inverters, relocating the trunking, the wiring, everything's we need to like for that to like at your house to redo the wiring like 2 days, 3 days, or probably 1 week. Of course the price will be higher. So let's say it's just like as simple as just checking and your inverters and your monitoring system, all those things, it will be cheaper. And of course, let's say you want us to do the cleaning on the solar PV system, we need to rent the skylift for that. So it will be more expensive than just checking on the inverter itself. I hope it clarifies answer your questions.
Yes. Okay, I think that's all from me for now.
Okay, so if let's say I were to Okay, there's a question from Chris. Are you keen to do a corporate talk?
Sorry, sorry, I just want to check what is the corporate talks that we are referring. Is there any like topics that you want me to talk about?
Same topic, but go to the company to provide talk to the employees of
Yeah,
the
we can do
subsidiary.
that.
Yeah.
We can do that. No issues.
So how do we go about this?
You can drop me an email on zgn.ye@tnb.com.my.
If you don't mind, can you please type in the chat?
Yes. Let me. Everyone would be zgn.ye@tnb.com.my.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so all right. So is there anything else?
Okay, let's say if I've installed the solar PV panels at my house and I'm deciding to sell the house. Do I have the option to transfer the system to my new house, or can I also sell the system to the new owner? Do you have a choice of that?
Okay, under the guideline for NEM 3.0, you only can transfer the ownership to the new owner. You can't relocate and transfer the approval to the new house.
Understood. Is there any situation where solar panels might not be for me? Like the factors like geographical, the location, or maybe the weather. Is there any like key deciding factor whether this is for me or not for me? Like you said before, if my bill is less than 300, maybe it's not for me. What are the things that I would need to consider?
The first thing, of course, you need to consider on your on the roof structure. Is it strong enough to sustain the solar PV system? Because when we talk about these solar panels, like 500 watt solar panels, the is already weighted like 26.5 kg per panel. So together with the mounting structure, we are looking at like 28 kg per every 2 meter square feet. Sorry, every 2 square meters. So let's say the structure is not strong enough, so we won't propose for you to install the solar PV system. Another things would be the roof availability. Probably your house is your consumption is very high, but your roof is too small. Like you can only sustain 2 kilowatt system, but based on your bill, you supposedly you can get like 10 kilowatts or 11 kilowatt system. So we will think that 2 kilowatt system, it doesn't provide you like any savings for your electricity bill. So which is why we won't propose to you the solar PV system lah. Or your roof, there are too many facings, because the inverters itself, we have the constraint, because each inverters we can connect to like 2 strings. It depends on the models. So let's say you have too many facing, like like suddenly one facing to the north, one facing to the south, one facing to the east and west, right? Like 4 to 5 facings. So you need a lot of inverters itself to just to connect to one single solar PV system. So the cost will be like unridiculous high lah. So that's why we won't suggest to you. But all these things can be decided after the site assessment.
Understood. Is there any more questions? Participants?
If I may add, GSPARX is one of the company that registered with SEDA lah. They did an amazing job. But other than GSPARX, we have another around 200 companies, registered service company that registered with us that you can choose from lah.
Yes, that's true.
we are just one of the from the 200 companies that registered. So right now there are a few hundred companies, solar companies, that can provide the solar PV system. It's not necessarily that you need to go with GSPARX, but we would suggest you to look for the big companies, because in case you have any things to in the future, they are at least they are still there lah. So they are like sales like our competitors. So SolarWest, Pekas Solar, they are doing also a great job as well in the residential. Sorry, SolarWest doesn't do residential. Like Pekas Solar, like sales, they are doing amazing job as well in the providing the services that you might can consider, because they are quite huge.
Yeah, we'll definitely consider GSPARX. I think GSPARX is the right choice. Definitely, we are waiting for a good package from GSPARX. Come back to us with a very attractive package, Mr. Yi.
Okay, Mr. Yi, one more thing I want to ask. Sorry, quick question. I understand that solar technology is increasing at a very fast pace. So what's the difference between if, let's say, we were to get it now, and maybe 5 years down the road, you got much better technology, like, instead of 20% efficiency, you got 30%. So wouldn't people use that one instead, since you got much more efficiency as compared to now?
Yes, people might consider that. In fact, just like car, when we want to buy a car, probably in another 5 years there are better technology. But if we keep on waiting, so until when we want to wait until the technology really like stabilize, like because like for solar, right, it's already have 20 years experience already, and then I think the technology right now is already matured, and I think for the next few years, the breakthrough will be on the battery solutions for the solar power PV system, but not on the solar panels itself. And right now, there are new technology coming in, which is the solar window. Is like for the high-rise building, right? Which the roof they don't have much roof availability, so they can change all their panels, the glass panels, to the transparent solar PV windows or glass. But that one is very, very expensive, and we think that probably in the next 5 years or 10 years, this when the technology is matured, it will eventually provide a more cost-effective method lah. But again, we don't know, like from the OEM, when they are going to bring down the price for all this advanced technology, and when they are going to sell it to the market. So instead of keep waiting, we will suggest that probably it's time for you to go for the solar ready, because solar already have 20 years experience in the field and is already matured right now.
Is there any other question? So I think that concludes our Q&A session for today. Is there anything that Mr. Yi or Mr. Idham or even Mr. Amir would like to add on before we end the session?
From my side, there's no further questions.
Okay, from SEDA, I think this is a good opportunity for you to install solar PV, because our program have a limited quota and until end of next year. So try to think and decide and apply for the net energy to protect our environment. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think that's all from here as well. There's nothing much for me to add. So in case you have any inquiries, you can just drop by my email. I have left my email address at the chat box. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Mohammad Idham, and also Mr. Yi for there's one more chat. Oh, thanks everyone. thank you so much for sharing with us, for spending time with us, for sharing your insights from the industry, from your perspective, so that we as the consumers can understand better on whether this is for us or not, whether this is viable for us in the long term, whether what has been shared here today has been a key factor on determining whether we will get a solar PV system installed to our homes or not. So we would like to thank you to both of you, to everyone around here, actually, the participants as well, for attending this session. Thank you so much, and we hope that we can see you guys again in the future, maybe, we hope. And I think that's about it. Is there any other thing that our participants would like to add? So if there's nothing else, I will end this session now. Yeah. Thank you so much to everyone attending here. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Amirul. Thank you, Idham. Thank you, Yuzan. All right. Thanks, everybody. Yes, bye.